Our agenda for today will kick off with team introductions and then a project scope, a construction overview, and then, as Brittany alluded to earlier, question and answer to address any questions and concerns. And I will kick it off. Jason Washington, Director of Blueprint Schools and I will provide, kick it to, I don't see her here, so I'm guessing Jose next.
Good evening, my name is Jose Lopez, Project Manager from Braceville and Dunlawby, helping Jason Washington and his team at the PGCPS schools here at Hyattsville.
Then Brian.
Good evening, Brian Malinchuk, Gilbane Building Company Project Executive.
And head up Arlen.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Arlen Knipe with Gilbane, also a project executive working with Brian and Chelsea.
Okay. And then we have Chelsea.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chelsea Beacom. I'm the project manager for Gilbane, serving on site for the Hyattsville Middle School project.
Quick, very macro overview of the scope. We're currently in construction, as everyone is aware. The square footage of the school is approximately 162,610 square feet. The total occupancy capacity for this school will be 1,200 students, and it's located at the old Hyattsville Middle School site on 42nd Avenue. Next slide. Just a few things around school amenities that are in the school. This will be a LEED Silver equivalent building, as well as the Maryland High Performance building. It will be solar ready. The infrastructure will be in place for solar, as well as electric vehicle charging. There will be a dedicated black box theater, outdoor classroom, a fully wireless campus, a STEAM lab, and we would also have an open media center concept that you'll see a picture of later in the presentation. Next slide. And with that, wanted to turn it over to Chelsea to give us a construction overview of where things are and where things are going.
Yep, thanks, Jason. So just to give everyone an update on the construction progress, we have the exterior metal panels complete on the building. I don't know if anyone's driven by, but you'll notice the building's enclosed, and we're really working now towards getting our interior work going throughout the classroom tower, as well as in the gymnasium and in the kitchen area. So just some of the milestones. We are pretty close to being watertight. We've got some windows that still need to go in and be caulked, but with the exception of those couple locations, we're pretty close to being watertight. The roof is complete. And so we've got dry spaces inside the building for putting up our drywall. Interior finishes in kind of this respect would be our flooring. So right now we're looking to start some of our tile work and our VCT finishes around the first of the year. Pushing for our permanent HVAC startup mid-February. And then that'll lead us into our commissioning, which will start in the April timeframe. So that should take about a month and a half. But starting in that May timeframe, we'll be starting our final AHJ inspections and our FF&E installs. So we'll be having a lot of furniture delivered and staged throughout the building. And then we're still well on our way to hit the 7/15/23 turnover date for the project. So it's kind of a big picture overview of where we're at construction wise. So just kind of taking a look again at the construction overview, we've completed that wall panel installation, our TPO. Our primary and secondary steel was all complete around the end of June. So that allowed us to continue our panel installation, and our interior CMU block walls are all constructed, top walls detailed out. We're actually getting ready to complete our fireproofing here this week as well. Like I said, work in progress. We've got the install of our exterior windows. That should be wrapping up here middle of next week. Interior stud wall framing is happening pretty much everywhere throughout the buildings. We've got most of the framing done in the 4-story classroom tower, and we're working through interior wall inspections, insulation, one siding, and we've started closing in some of the walls on the first floor of the north tower. We're pushing hard on the mechanical and electrical rooms, which are some of the back of house spaces, but getting some of the larger equipment set in there. Our parking lot grading is ongoing. So if anyone's driven by, you'll notice we've got pretty much half of the site kind of cleared. We've got to bring some dirt in, but we're looking to have our curb and gutter start this week with the hope of actually putting some base paving down next week. So that'll be a cool milestone to see. And kind of with that, we're sequencing our site utility install to stay ahead of any of that hardscape work. Next steps, we've actually already started our interior door frame installs. That's in progress, which is great. We started our elevator install today. We got the equipment delivery last week. And again, that curb gutter base coat asphalt is something that we're working to kind of start this week and then see more progress next week with the paving. So,
And this picture just provides an orientation of the school for those of you who haven't seen it in quite some time, and to kind of give an overview of where specific, I guess, focal points of the site are located.
Yep, so here's some pictures of the progress. These are a couple weeks old, so if you drive by, it might look a little bit different just with work ongoing. The picture on the left is from the southwest corner of the building, kind of looking at that 4-story classroom tower. This is what we're calling the B side. The north side is the A side, and our A tower is moving right along in terms of framing, in-wall close-ins, door frame installation, and getting those inspections completed and documented. We'll also start the coping. So if you can kind of see in that picture, we've got the TPO roof membrane lapped over the parapet. The coping is going to go on and clean that up a little bit. So that'll start to kind of just polish up the exterior of the building a little bit more. So this is from our A tower. Again, we've got the one siding going on, our insulation, in-wall blocking, all of our electrical and in-wall mechanical inspections are ongoing. We've got about 75% of our in-wall close-ins signed off. We just have the 4th floor for our electrical inspections, which will probably happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The photo on the left is of one of our corridors. So you see we've got our overhead MEP systems in place, insulated. And then as we continue to close up the walls with drywall, we'll start our finishing, sanding, painting, and then we'll get started on our ceiling grid in these areas. The picture on the right is the rough-in of one of the bathrooms. So continuing that work as well. So again, you'll just see kind of the progress on each floor, and each quadrant of the building is a little bit different. We've sequenced it so that we could keep trades kind of working methodically throughout the building. This is of our, I think this is the 3rd floor north side, which again, at this point has insulation in place, and we're doing one siding and door frame installation. So again, just kind of working through those interior finishes. And then this is a photo depicting what will be our learning stair. So this is kind of in a commons area that is in between our Sector 1 classroom tower and Sector 2 gym and kitchen areas. This will be a nice collaborative space for students to eat lunch and kind of engage and use those learning stairs for, socializing, having collaborative workspaces and for, different types of learning.
And just to point out the picture on the right there is the portable stage that will be added as part of the FF&E package that was requested by the Creative and Performing Arts. It's a mobile stage that will allow for additional performance opportunities throughout the school. And so we have not finalized exactly the product but this is a depiction of how the space can be utilized with that portable stage.
Yep. So,
yeah.
oh,
No, go ahead, Chelsea. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, all fine. So the photo on the left shows our media space. We've got between our first and second floors, and then also between the third and fourth floors, we have these kind of more open atrium spaces. And we'll have all of the millwork and the casework. That'll be starting probably mid-February timeframe. The center photo shows the lockers and just one of our kind of classroom tower corridors. And then the photo on the far right is one of the collaboration spaces. So there's kind of all of these small nooks kind of distributed throughout the building for students to kind of sit down, have a space to engage and just kind of collaborate with their peers.
Perfect. So thank you, everybody. As I mentioned, we will now have our question and answers portion of the meeting. Please note we will only be addressing construction updates and logistics questions, as well as building design questions. All programming and operational questions will be addressed at a later date. As I mentioned, if you have any questions, please type them in the Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen. First question we have is, will there be a staff restroom on all floors or staff restrooms on all floors?
Yeah, my understanding is that there will be staff restrooms. Additionally, there will be some staff prep areas, I believe, if not on every floor, on the majority of the towers, I believe on each end, actually.
Thank you. We've been asked, please repeat the opening date for the new school.
Occupancy is scheduled for July 15th. Which will give the administration and teachers and everyone time to get situated in the school before it opens. It will be open beginning next fall. So there will be no more swinging of students as has been the case for the last couple of years.
Any additional questions? Please type them in the Q&A box. Perfect. Will tours be possible for students in the community before the official opening date?
We will see. And that's one due to the number of potential tours and ensuring that the school is nothing impacts the delivery date. But similar to what was done at Cherokee Lane, there were tours provided to the administration and the staff and stakeholders prior to school opening at the beginning of the fall. So I would expect that there will be tours of some kind. Exactly the timing, I can't confirm yet.
Thank you. Will the parking lot be easily accessible with the bus lot also being located in the front of the building?
The park as the car parking and the bus requirement that PGCPS put in place. And so there will be separate, I guess, parking lots that allow for students to exit the buses as well as exit car drop-off lane and any pedestrians walking. So they have been separated coming off of Oglethorpe.
Thank you. What plans are there for the use of the solar panels?
That's actually what we're looking at now, trying to determine if the possibility of getting solar on the school in time for school opening. As I mentioned, they will have the extra panels and the ability for solar capability. And so now we're trying to figure out the best vehicle in which to procure and to get solar installed on the school.
Thank you. Will the rooms that use music, like the dance studio, band, and orchestra rooms, be soundproofed in any way?
I will say yes. There are sound ratings for that. The building must be compliant with prior to handover occupancy. I can't speak to the specific rating, but there are specific ratings for each room that the building design and engineers have designed for and that are required. I don't know the specific rating per se for each space, but there are acoustic requirements that have to be met for the school.
What is the size of the multi-purpose field?
I can't say the specific dimensions. It will be smaller than a regular soccer size field, just based upon the space that's available. But it will be marked. I believe youth lacrosse, youth soccer, I think is the markings. And Jose, I think that's what we decided for that multi-purpose field.
Correct. Youth soccer.
I'm sorry.
Youth soccer.
Yep. Youth soccer is so it will be a appropriate size for youth soccer.
Thank you. Will there be multiple sinks in the art rooms?
There will be I don't know about multiple, that believe that there's a bank of sinks. We have definitely added some additional plumbing and sinks to the visual arts area, and I don't know if they're positioned within or right outside the art rooms, but there will be sink capacity in the art rooms.
Okay. Will there be metal detectors or other security screening space?
I am not aware, and I don't know anything related to the security posture of the school. I can say that the whole footprint of the school and the fencing plan of the school is to direct all guests and visitors of the school to the front of the school. Therefore, for the visibility to ensure the administration can see who's coming. Additionally, when school is in session, there's a secure vestibule that all guests must go through prior to entering the building and entering the administrative space. But any other, and right at the front door is the security room as well, where I'm guessing security personnel will be. But I don't have any other information related to metal detectors or anything of that sort.
Thank you. How close is the field to the houses on Oglethorpe, I'm sorry, and is there a protective barrier or net?
The field is set back a good ways from the houses on Oglethorpe. Additionally, that is, there right now, there's no additional protective net or barrier that is being constructed or added to the multi-purpose field.
Will the water fountains be usable in the school? At the old school, they could not use the water from the water fountains due to poor water quality.
Yes, that's part of putting in a new facility. There will be I forget what the reusable the little stations where you can fill up water bottles as part of the water fountains throughout the school. And yes, the fountains should be usable.
Thank you. Next question is, was there a possibility of the county purchasing the land with the house located near the front of the multi-purpose field? So they were talking about this area, Jason.
No, we have never entertained trying to purchase that property.
Okay.
One thing to add that was highlighted and noted, the band and choral rooms, and thank you, Mike, for this, are designed to AC1, which is the highest noise suppression standard in the building. And so that is the standard of acoustics for the performing arts area.
Thank you so much, Mike. Another question, will lockers be on each floor?
Lockers will be on, I don't know if they will be on the first floor, because I think the first floor, I know they will be within the academic towers on the 4-story side on the top 3 floors. I don't know about the first floor, because I think that's more of the extracurriculars, the specials, etc. I could be wrong, but there will be enough lockers for all of the students in the building.
How will the fence be maintained during the maintenance phase to avoid a similar field security situation that Northwestern High is dealing with?
As part of the scope of Honeywell's work, they are responsible for maintaining the space. There is within their maintenance plan and their asset management plan a replacement schedule for fencing as well as maintaining the fencing. There are going to be 2 separate types of fencing on this property. There's going to be a chain link as well as a privacy fence abutting up to, I want to say 43rd Avenue in the back of those neighbors' houses. All of that will be the responsibility of Honeywell to maintain.
Will there be single user or multi-gender bathrooms?
There will be gender neutral bathrooms throughout the building. There will also be a bank of gendered bathrooms right next to the cafeteria and the gymnasium. But in the academic floors, there will be gender neutral facilities on both ends of the floor, on all floors of the school.
Will this become a voting location again under the PPP?
Any previous operational uses for the school is well within the right. The P3 does impact and will not impact the ongoing operations of the schools. We expect that the schools will be utilized as they were as community centers prior to the building of the new school.
Could you go more into the acquiring of the houses at the?
Well, we are utilizing the properties that we owned and not wanted to get into the acquisition of additional property. Additionally, and that's what has been seen in many of the other public-private partnerships and the potential delays and the conflicts that exist, is when there's not full ownership of the underlying property of which the asset will be built on. And so that was a factor that played into it. And additionally, it was someone's house that they've bought, and they have planned to live in, and so it never was raised, and anything that we had considered related to acquiring those two houses south of plans. So,
Okay. What is the flood risk of the property?
I will now shut up and see if Chelsea or Arlen or Brian can talk more about like just the stormwater management that will be on the system, on the site.
Yeah, so the stormwater itself is all engineered and sized for the anticipated rain that the site's scheduled to receive. So just from a performance standpoint, we should be in a position where the systems that are in place should be able to accommodate, I think, 100-year storm potentially is typically what they're designed for. So in terms of flooding, it's I wouldn't foresee the site itself flooding. I know that just in my experience in Hyattsville in general, there's definitely areas that are more prone to it, but I would not anticipate the building being in a position where it would be exposed to floods.
But just to add to that, the building, the site is designed for a 100-year storm, which means that the on-site structures can retain the water before it discharges into the standard stormwater system in the is in this underlying streets. The building itself is raised up slightly above grade so that there's not a possibility for water to intrude into the building based on its design. So everything is designed to enter into the floods, into the stormwater system, and then the planting beds that you see along 42nd Avenue pick up rainwater, filter the water before it goes into the stormwater system.
Mike, somebody asked what stormwater systems are in place. So could you go into how it works a little bit more?
Sure. It's there's a couple different systems. There are drains from the hard surfaces that go into what is essentially a rain garden. That's the landscaped areas that you see on the slide along 42nd Avenue, and wherever you see the darker green is a location where the water is collected from the surface, goes into a landscape zone. Below that landscape zone is gravel and filter papers, and then pipes, and those pipes then go into a stormwater retention system. And then that stormwater retention system discharges into the city storm drain system.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Next one is, will this school become a swing space for other schools with the new larger capacity?
No, it is not anticipated to be a swing space and to act in that role. Part of what we are working on now is a long-term swing space plan to identify potential schools in the north that can serve as swing space. But no, this is not an anticipated use for the school going forward.
What is the projected student enrollment for 2023-2024 school year?
I don't know the exact number, but the schools were all designed and to accommodate at the opening between 70 to 80% capacity. So looking at that number, we're looking at probably somewhere between 950 students is what I would say. But I don't know for sure. And the new enrollment numbers was just told today won't be available for current year until November. So we'll have firmer numbers for sure in the spring.
Will all classrooms have windows?
Yes. And in addition to windows, there also will be solar tubes within the school, bringing in additional light. That's one of the big things that we realized when studying around academic achievement is, students perform better when they have a lot of access and visibility to daylight and sunlight and outdoor and just looking outside. And so each of the classrooms will have windows.
Okay, Jason, going back to enrollment, somebody asked if enrollment goes beyond 1,200 students, what will happen?
That will be a discussion for pupil enrollment and the central office. There is, of course, the capacity to look at modulars, et cetera, on the site, or adjustments to boundaries, I'm sure, is something, is a possibility. But that's something that we just are not anticipating and have had conversations about.
Okay. Mike, I saw you wanted to answer the question, how will air quality be monitored?
Sorry about that, trying to unmute. I was going to type in an answer. So there's a building automation system that monitors CO2 levels as well as temperature, humidity, and the various functions to maintain a safe building. The air filtration system on the building are MERV 13 filters, which are the highest level filtration system to eliminate pathogens and virus transmission. And in addition, there is electronic air filtration systems at high occupancy areas such as the restrooms, also to eliminate pathogens and the spread of viruses.
Thanks. And Mike, will each room have its own temperature control?
Yes.
Awesome. Next question is, what is the parking lot capacity? And then with that, will there be bike racks available to staff and students?
So there are bike racks.
Ladder
Um,
ones installed, I believe, right in the front. Also, say it again, Mike. You broke up there. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having some difficulties here, but there are bike racks installed at the entrance to the building. So they're for students or teachers or anybody that wants to use them.
okay. And then the parking lot capacity?
I don't know the count off the top of my head, but give us a second. We'll put it in the chat for everybody.
It's about 110 parking spaces and 27 busing spaces as well.
Thanks,
There
Jose.
you go.
So we asked, what mold prevention steps are in place?
I think that was pretty much piggybacks off of what Mike just talked about related to the air filtration systems and the automation system that will continue to pump air through the school and the systems that can be monitored remotely. But I don't know of any other specific mold remediation other than ensuring that all of the major mechanical is maintained as it should be, and we are operating the building as efficiently as possible and handling all of the maintenance when it needs to happen. So.
Next is, will there be locks on the doors so teachers can lock from the inside to provide a safeguard in the event of an active shooter?
Unfortunately, we have to talk about it, but yes, all of the rooms will be equipped with what are known as just anyone inside of the door can push the lock, and there's an automatic lock that can only be overridden by someone on the outside having a key. And so that allows, and that's I believe, state law now. And so each of the rooms will be equipped with that door and that capability to lock should there be anything of that nature.
Thank you, Jason.
There was a question earlier about the size of the multi-purpose field, and that turf field is 160 by 235, 160 feet by 235 feet.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Next question is, will the custodial and maintenance staff be PGCPS employees or external contractors?
Custodial will be PGCPS. Maintenance staff will be Honeywell and be managed by Honeywell as part of this contract. And so regular custodial work and that will be maintained and done by Prince George's County Public Schools employees. Major mechanical, painting, any long-term maintenance upkeep will be managed and handled by Honeywell.
Okay, thank you. And will the exterior doors lock automatically upon closing or sound an alarm if propped?
Yes, I mean, they will have electronic door holders, I believe, on all exterior doors, as well as, depending on what door, they will be set with alarms for if there's egress or anything out of those doors, or someone trying to come into those doors.
Any additional questions, please type them in the Q&A box. Okay, Jason, at this time, there are no more questions.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I would like to thank our partners at Gilbane Building Company for coming and providing knowledgeable update of what's happening on the site. I would like to thank all of you for the grace that you've given us to disrupt the community with the construction activities. I promise that we are moving as quickly as possible to get the school delivered and occupied, and to move out of your way as quickly as possible. But really, I want to stress is that we are incredibly excited about working to deliver this school to the community on time, and we are looking forward to we're looking forward to welcoming all of you into the new Hyattsville Middle School. One additional question I saw, and I'll answer it. What if we do not meet the opening date? We will. But seriously, there are some provisions within the contract that we would just have to address. But everyone here is focused on ensuring that the school is delivered on time and ready for next fall. If there are any additional questions, first of all, this presentation and this recording will be online at the website pgcpsblueprintschools.com. Additionally, if you have any additional questions or whatever, please feel free to send them there, and we will address them and get those updated to the website as quickly as possible. Again, thank you so much for taking the time, and thank everybody for their support in this great school, and we will talk with you later. Thank you so much.